In this video, I'll discuss the costs of on-premise IT infrastructure versus a cloud-based deployment. So let's discuss some key differences between on-premise IT operations and the cloud. In the on-premise model, your IT operations are deployed behind your firewall on your servers, and you have complete control over every aspect of managing that implementation. Even if you're using a hosting provider or outside agency to manage those operations, there's still going to be a tight relationship with those managing things. In a cloud deployment, your IT operations have moved to a cloud provider's server, not like an on-premise implementation, because medium to large businesses probably don't have their servers in the basement. Your control of your IT deployment is accessed through the web controls, managed through a browser typically. Your relationship to manage things is now with the cloud provider's IT teams. There are costing differences when comparing on-premise implementations and the cloud. In the on-premise model, you purchase licenses for your OSs and software, typically on a per-seat basis, and you pay fees for updates and services needed to keep your hardware and software running properly. In the cloud model, you purchase subscriptions, usually per user, and you pay for what you use. You will likely have a list of different options, services, and tools you can choose from, and pay fees for those you need to use. In an on-premise solution, the hardware you purchase represents capital expenditure, something that has an upfront cost, plus the cost of maintaining that hardware and associated costs in the future, like hardware upgrades. In a cloud deployment, your expenditure is now an operating expenditure because you're paying for a service on an ongoing basis. You pay for what you use and the services that you choose. When considering and comparing costs of on-premise IT and cloud deployments, you also have to consider adoption costs. In an on-premise implementation, the adoption cost is quite high because of the upfront costs of hardware and software. Hardware updates are also costly, and software updates have an associated cost in personnel and labor requirements. In a cloud deployment, the cost of adoption is low because you choose your plan, the number of users, and pay a relatively low fee. You're up and running, and you can scale up or down as you need, so there's a great deal of flexibility associated with cloud deployments.